Welcome to the YouTube channel. We are back, the Fantasy Football Counselor here, and what a way to kick it off. We're talking the way too early top 10 running backs. Let's get right to it.
So you wanna go hard? So you wanna be the greatest? Your life is a fantasy, and it's all for the taking. Cause this time is now, and I gotta get it. I'm a beast, I'm a freak when it comes to winning. Eyes on the prize like it's television. All room, no bust, no room, your prize. So you wanna go hard?
All right, guys, welcome to the show. I'm excited to be back. I was focusing on some other things, from the website to blogging to a bunch of other stuff, revamped the website completely, got a new t-shirt line out there for you with the whole Lion mentality. A ton of exciting stuff going on here with the Fantasy Football Counselor brand as we plan to take over this entire fantasy football industry together, Lions strong here. 2020 is going to be a massive year, not only for Council Nation, but for fantasy football in general, and of course this brand. I'm super excited. And today we're kicking off the episode with the way too early top 10 running backs. I'm excited to dive in this with you guys. Now, I will be doing a show. Tim will be back on the main podcast as well. And we're going to be doing a lot of Q&As with you guys. So I encourage you guys to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment below with your questions. We'll be featuring some questions throughout the episodes that we do, the podcast episodes, answering your questions and shouting you guys out and your YouTube channels. So leave a comment below with your questions. Be fun, be witty, be innovative, and the best questions will be answered, okay, guys? In the comments, and of course, again, leave that thumbs up and subscribe. All right, so let's get to the way too early top 10 running backs. What a great way to kick off this channel again with my favorite episode, which is running backs. Now, I gotta tell you, 2020 is gonna be massive, and we don't really know what's gonna happen until free agency and, of course, the NFL draft. After that, everything's gonna start lining up. Depth charts are gonna start filing up, and you're gonna know, who is the starter on each team and how it's all gonna play out and who to draft. So as of right now, very early March, so we don't really know, but I had to get this list out to you guys to give you guys a kind of an idea of the running backs I'm kind of looking at. This is definitely going to change. Do not take this list, biblically. Do not take it religiously. I'm trying to find the words here. Take it as kind of a guideline for now. And again, when these rookie running backs come in, this may change. I like Jonathan Taylor. Where's Jonathan Taylor going to land? That could really predicate his volume and then possibly even making this list, okay? That's just an example, right? There's other running backs that look good as well. So the first running back on this list that I absolutely love for 2020 fantasy football, and I'm going to explain why. Now, a lot of people may have Christian McCaffrey at number one. Not me, not the counselor. There is a coaching change. We'll get to that in a second, but I do love number one. I love Saquon Barkley. I'll tell you guys why. This guy finished 10th in PPR amongst running backs, playing only 13 games with a quarterback that's just trying to get settled into that offense. So Saquon Barkley still has a ton of upside. Not to mention, they need to beef up that O-line. Beefing up the O-line, getting Daniel Jones in the system. And of course, Saquon got hurt a little bit. That's definitely going to affect his numbers, but still managed to finish top 10. Remember, guys, the year before, Saquon was the number one running back in PPR points, over 385 PPR fantasy points. Saquon Barkley, based on talent, based on ability, based on opportunity, based on volume that he's going to get, because he's going to be the workhorse guy. He can catch, he can run, he's agile, and there's still more left in the tank. This is why I love Saquon Barkley for 2020 fantasy football. Undeniably, my running back one. Coming in number two, Zeke Elliott. I'll tell you why I like Zeke so much, okay? He finished top 10 3 out of 4 years, okay? Out of those 3 out of 4 years, he was top 3. Let me repeat that. 3 out of 4 years, he was a top 3 running back in fantasy points PPR. That's outstanding. Last year, finished number 3 amongst running backs. Still not bad. Now understand, guys, he was 4th in rushing. That is what I like about Zeke Elliott, and I also like the volume. I also like that team believes in him. Now, I understand there's a coaching change with Mike McCarthy, but Mike McCarthy has run other guys into the ground. Eddie Lacy in the past, back in 2013, 2014. I'm not too concerned. I still think Zeke Elliott is going to be that workhorse running back on the team. I don't really deny that. Now, Zeke Elliott is a guy you definitely want to consider drafting in the top 3 picks because he is safe, secure, solid, and is going to get that volume. This is why I like Zeke Elliott. Safe, consistent production every single year. I mean, how do you pass up on that type of elite talent? Coming in number 3, now I'm personally going to avoid him again. 2 years in a row, Christian McCaffrey has been a top 3 running back. Phenomenal numbers. I mean, if you're looking at a safe running back, this is the guy to get. 471 points last year, 116 plus receptions. This guy's phenomenal. But here's the thing. There's going to be a quarterback question mark. Who's the quarterback? Number 2, are they going to acquire another wide receiver to complement DJ Moore? What are the Panthers doing? There is a coaching change. Matt Rule's in there now, a new head coach. Okay, so now there's so many changes that are going to be happening. Is he going to get 116 plus receptions? That is a big question mark to me. Now, if I'm a new head coach, I'm going to say, let's find some receivers that can actually catch the ball. We do not want to rely on Christian McCaffrey, which is a good point because Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers didn't get very far to making the Super Bowl. They didn't make the playoffs, okay? So this is a big concern to me when you're looking at this offense. Are they going to still utilize Christian McCaffrey as their focal point of the offense? Maybe, but is he going to get a reduction in not only volume, but of course those receptions? So I'm looking for a definite decline. Again, it's very, very, very rare. I think it was Priest Holmes like the only guy, one of the only guys to go back-to-back finishing on top at a particular position, especially at the running back. Let's talk about running backs particularly here. So Christian McCaffrey, guys, is a guy that is definitely going to see a decline. What type of decline? I mean, 471 points, that's such a high ceiling. It's definitely coming down. How much it's coming down, I'm not exactly sure. We're going to have to see what type of changes the Panthers make in the offseason. But this is why Christian McCaffrey is not my number 1, because I'm adjusting and making sure that I compensate for any type of decrease that's definitely going to happen with Christian McCaffrey. So he's coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 4, this was the guy that I was high on the mainstream, the fantasy football consensus, the consensus rankings. By the way, get your t-shirts at thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Got my Conshepsis shirt, my Lions shirt. Make sure you guys get that. You're going to like the new brand of t-shirt line with the whole Lion mentality. You're going to absolutely love it, Council Nation. It is a game changer. So thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Also revamping the site. There's a ton of content there for you to look at, from Fantasy Football 101 to rankings to swag to a ton of cool stuff. It's the complete solution for you. Check it out, guys. There's a link below here if you're watching on YouTube. So again, number 4 here, Derrick Henry. The guy was the rushing leader, absolute beast. But understand he was fighting for a contract year. I don't know if he's going to replicate that, to be honest with you. We're going to have to see who's going to be under center at quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. This was a guy I was high on. Now, typically what I do is I ride it while it's hot. You know, guys like Kareem Hunt, got him the year he was hot. Todd Gurley. You got to know when to hold him. You got to know when to fold him. That comes in to fantasy as well. I rode the Derrick Henry train last year. Whether I'm going to jump back on this year, that's a big question mark. Got to see the offseason moves. But again, should be a top 10 finisher unless some sort of, barring any type of injury or something like that that could sideline him. Other than that, you know, Derrick Henry's top 10. Again, I'm not as bullish on this year. We're going to have to see what happens with this contract. But Derrick Henry, a guy that I believed in last year, performing. Coming in number 5, Leonard Fournette. The thing with Leonard Fournette is he's a workhorse. He's solid as long as he stays healthy. Number 7 in attempts. And that's one thing you got to look at when you're looking at fantasy football draft strategy and acquiring a running back. By the way, I am going Robust RB. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe. A ton of content why I'm going Robust RB. And one of the main reasons is I like the volume and the attempts and that guaranteed workflow that you're going to get out of a running back. But he was number 7 in attempts, and you got to look at attempts when you are looking at a running back. That is very, very important. Now, Leonard Fournette was number 7 in fantasy points PPR and also number 7 in attempts, but only 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's definitely got to go up for a guy who's your workhorse running back who should get all of the goal line volume. So Leonard Fournette is a guy I absolutely love for 2020 fantasy football. They could still finish within the top 10, barring he stays healthy. That's a big thing, right? Because we've seen injuries in the past with Leonard Fournette, hamstring injuries, ankle injuries, all that type of stuff. If he stays healthy, Lenny could be a top 5 running back predicated on health, okay? Number 6 here now, this guy finished 21 in fantasy points, not the highest, but 13th in attempts, and the nice thing is he was 7th in rushing. But the guy I'm talking about is Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has a ton of opportunity with a high ceiling going into 2020 fantasy football. Keep him on your radar. Now, we have seen injuries in the past. We saw the lighter workload in college for Josh Jacobs. He proved that he can handle the workload. You know, I'm really curious to see who's going to be the quarterback there with the Raiders. What's going to happen there? Is Derek Carr going to stay? A lot of free agency stuff, a lot of moves, a lot of shifts, a lot of shakes in the offseason. And I'm really curious to see how that's going to affect Josh Jacobs. But as of right now, love the talent, love the opportunity here. This is the very early list, everybody. So when you are looking at this, consider Josh Jacobs as a solid RB2 with upside. If you're going robust RB strategy, you get yourself a Zeke Elliott. If you can come back in round 2 and get yourself a Josh Jacobs, that's exciting stuff. But I got him in at number 6. Coming at number 7, Alvin Kamara. Now, the reason I like Alvin Kamara is that, you know, you're going to get what you see is what you get. You're going to get a guaranteed 700 to 900 rushing yards in and around that range. You're going to get your 81 receptions, almost guaranteed. And he's always going to finish pretty much in the top 10. That's almost guaranteed, right? But the thing with Alvin, he finished number 9 last year, is that he always has a complimentary back that's going to get some goal line work, that's going to steal some of that rushing volume. That's okay. If you're in PPR, Alvin Kamara can serve as a solid low-end RB1, high-end RB2 for you. Alvin Kamara, I think his stock's going to be a little bit down this year. More people are going to be high on your CMCs, obviously your Derrick Henrys. You can get him for a little more value than you got him last year. He's probably going to go, again, mock drafts don't happen for me until after the NFL draft because that's when things start getting really serious. But Alvin Kamara, I could definitely see still being acquired in the top 8 picks easily. But I do like Alvin Kamara more as a low-end RB1 because he's always going to have that complimentary back. So he's coming at number 7 for me. Coming at number 8, now I may change my mind on this. I'm still trying to work out the particulars here with the coaches and the main thing here is that they're going to throw first, I think, and that's the Green Bay Packers. Okay, Aaron Jones coming in at number 8 for me. Now he was number 2 in fantasy points, a ton of touchdowns last year with 15. One thing that is concerning to me is that he's always in a bit of a committee. I know a lot of running backs are. We're going to have to see how that committee kind of unfolds. Also, another thing is that the injuries in the past, a little bit of a concern throughout the years. Is he going to maintain that type of status of being healthy, getting that volume on a throw-first team? Another thing is like Devontae Adams was hurt last year. I mean, he was hurt. That took away a lot of the passing touchdowns that Aaron Rodgers could have had, whereas Aaron Jones came in and got a lot of that volume. So Aaron Jones may slide out of my top 10. Definitely a regression this year going into 2020, but I still like him. I like Aaron Jones. I think he's great talent. Is he going to get the same volume he did? No, there's going to be a regression. How much of that regression I still have to calculate, but I love Aaron Jones. Coming in number 9, Todd Gurley. I know a lot of people are scared of Todd Gurley, understandably so. Finished 14th amongst running backs last year. Listen, Todd Gurley was preserved for the first half of the season, understandably so with the arthritis, but are they going to use him more? That's a big question. I think the Rams realized, hey, we got to use Todd Gurley if we have any chance of making the playoffs and succeeding this year. Started utilizing him a little bit later in the season. I think they realized their mistake. Predicated on what happened last year, I think Todd Gurley definitely gets more volume this year. He's going to be used more, and they cannot preserve him. They got to use him. If they use him, he's going to get volume. If he gets volume, he's going to convert into fantasy points. So Todd Gurley's a guy that could crack the top 10 because I'm going on last year's numbers and saying, hey, I'm thinking here, if they had used him the entire year and believed in him, this guy would have definitely been a top 8 running back. Will they believe in Todd Gurley? I hope so. That offense can only do better than they did last year, so he does have some upside. Coming at number 10, and this can shift and sway, and I know a lot of people are saying, where's Nick Chubb, where's Dalvin Cook? Stay tuned, guys. Subscribe to this channel. There's a ton of videos I'm going to be featuring particular players on, talk about why I'm not going to draft, and there's going to be a ton of content on this channel. but there's a reason why Dalvin Cook and Nick Chubb aren't going to be in my top 10. Number one, I'll give you a quick touch up on it. Dalvin Cook, injuries, hasn't finished 3 years, blew his load last year, whole other topic. And Nick Chubb, if Kareem Hunt's back, forget about it, he's not making top 10. But Miles Sanders, I got him at number 10. Reason being, he only had 3 touchdowns last year. He didn't start getting utilized till the end of the season. Now listen, I do not like Philadelphia Eagles running backs. I do not at all. I don't like Philadelphia Eagles players, period, for fantasy as of late. But Miles Sanders is a guy that's very appealing, that started getting utilized a little bit later in the season. 819 rushing yards, that can only go up. 50-plus receptions, that can only go up. Now, the 3 touchdowns, I definitely see that going up. So if he's a guy that can kind of crack the top 15, top 20 without being utilized till the end of the season, I still see a high ceiling for Miles Sanders if he is utilized as a primary back. This is my concern again with any type of team, any type of coaching. It's something to monitor and watch. If he is the feature back and he's going to get that type of volume that you expect out of a workhorse running back, that you see out of Leonard or Zeke or Saquon, if Miles Sanders is put into that position with the load on his back, this guy is easily a top 10 running back. But this is, again, something you need to monitor. All right, guys, I'm so excited to be back. YouTube is back. This is my list here for early top 10 running backs. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you guys click subscribe. Leave a comment below. I will be replying to comments and also shouting you guys out on our main show with Tim the Ball Guy, answering your 2020 fantasy football questions and any type of question you have for football or fantasy football in general. The most unique, interesting questions or questions that I feel need to be answered will be answered on the show. Smash that thumbs up, guys. Lion Mentality. Check out the new website below. I'm super excited, guys. Thank you for being here. The top 10 running backs, the early list right here for you, and I am out.